G'day guys, Rukshan here. Welcome to the news vlog. As you can see, I'm doing some bicep curls here, getting ready to take on Anthony Albanese and his bullshit that he is peddling to us every single day.
Forget about Albo for a second. What about ScoMo? He is retiring from politics. That's right, ScoMo is done. I don't think anyone actually cares, but I will talk about that story a bit later on. First up, this story around this fire in Caulfield North. A gym that was formerly owned by Avi Yemini, his IDF training gym that he had for a while, has been gutted in a suspected arson attack. And a lot of the media headlines are related back to Avi Yemini. So they say, gym formerly owned by far-right commentator Avi Yemini set alight in Caulfield. Firefighters were called to the suspicious fire on Hawthorne Road in Caulfield North just after 5 a.m. today, where they found the gym fully ablaze. The fire was so intense it threatened nearby buildings, forcing the evacuation of dozens of residents and a restaurant nearby. As you can see, it's a pretty intense looking fire. Now, Avi Yemini did online say he confirmed that he previously did own the gym, but now he has no connection to it. It's actually known as Bayside Health and Fitness. This connection is being made to Avi, I believe, because of the other arson attacks we've seen in that area and just the general community discontent we're having right now within the Jewish and Palestinian populations related to this issue in Gaza and Israel. So of course they're making this connection to Avi. They also said on the Herald Sun that the Caulfield North gym targeted in a suspected hate crime was formerly owned by Israeli far-right political activist Avi Yemini. Avi took a bit of a tongue-in-cheek approach to that, saying, why aren't you guys calling me a journalist? So yeah, I found that pretty funny. But I did approach Avi for a comment, and what he said to me was, it's a shame that police have not caught the people responsible for the arson at the Burgatory restaurant, and perhaps if they had caught those people, it might have led to some, solving this crime as well, right? So that Burgatory restaurant attack was related to a Palestinian-owned restaurant chain that was attacked as well. And police, I believe, to this date, have not released any names of suspects or any other investigations into that where they've, caught the people that are responsible for this. Anyway, so that's that. So Avi Yemini's gym has been burnt down in arson, but he doesn't own that building anymore. So look, it's possible some far-left lunatics decided to attack that building because of a link with Avi, but we can't make that connection beyond just speculation. The next story that I have is around Victoria Police. That's right, Victoria Police have made an embarrassing mistake online, which probably won't go reported anywhere else because they've apologized for it. This is what Victoria Police have said on Twitter. You may have seen an inappropriate retweet on this channel today. Please rest assured that this was entirely accidental human error using moderation software and was deleted as soon as we became aware of it. I wonder what moderation software they're using, but what was the tweet that they retweeted? Well, the tweet that they retweeted was in reference to a comment made by someone on Victoria Police's actions against pro-Palestinian protesters at the docks yesterday. And the comment said, "Well done, Victoria Police, for fighting against the leftist scum." And that was retweeted by Victoria Police. So look, it could have been an accidental mistake. A lot of the ACAB crew, a lot of the Antifa crew, a lot of the pro-Palestinian people on social media are saying this was willful by Victoria Police, and whoever's running the accounts share these type of sentiments against the pro-Palestinian protesters. But yeah, a rare social media stuff up there for Victoria Police. Actually, is it rare? I don't think they run their social media very well to begin with. All right, next story is a follow-up from yesterday, and that is around Australia Day and Cricket Australia. The CEO of Cricket Australia, what's his name? Nick Hockley. He went on 2GB radio. Of course, we've been discussing how they're not going to be using the terms Australia Day at the Gabba Test. And he gave a shocking interview, right? This guy, you can tell the CEO, it's like he's being held at gunpoint by some, minority left-wing, mafia group around this Australia Day thing, right? Let's listen to his interview. This is a few minutes into it.
Will the words Australia Day come over the loudspeaker on Friday? Come on, straight answer.
Yeah, no, they won't. We've taken a consistent approach over the past.
Yeah, hang on. Is that a no? I didn't hear it. Is it no?
The main, as I said, Ben, We are...
No. I want a yes or a no, Nick. Is Australia Day going to be mentioned over the loudspeaker on Friday? Yes or no?
I don't believe so, no.
You don't believe so?
I don't believe so. I mean, I just paused it there. This guy is the CEO of Cricket Australia, and he is saying, I don't believe so, after they've already made an announcement that they won't be doing something. How does someone like this end up being a CEO? But you see this corporate culture, they're so afraid. They're so afraid to commit to even the decisions they've made, because I think deep down inside, they know how ridiculous all of this sounds, right? Let's keep listening.
We are taking, then, respectfully, we're taking the same approach that we have done over the past 4 or 5 years. We've taken on good advice. We've spoken to our players. We've spoken to our committee. We want everyone to come along and have the most fantastic time to celebrate Australia Day.
But you won't mention Australia Day.
As we said, it means for some, including some of our...
So these guys are just crooked, right? They've put on this match on Australia Day. They want people to come along and celebrate Australia Day, and they want people to obviously, it's a public holiday, so they have more people coming, but they won't mention Australia Day. Ridiculous stuff. I know I'm going over the same things as yesterday, but just to hear the CEO, you can see where these issues come from. Now, he has gone to the media afterwards to clarify, to say actually the grounds people will now actually mention Australia Day during their announcements. So there has been a bit of a backtrack maybe. Pat Cummins, the captain of the Australian cricket team, has though come out and said, this is what he said: Pat Cummins has called for a change to the date of Australia Day, back in the decision for the term to not be used in marketing for the Brisbane Test. The organisation's long-held position come into fire this week with the CEO Chief Executive Nick Hockley during a grilling on Sydney radio on this morning. Pat Cummins said, I absolutely love Australia. It's the best country in the world by a mile. We should have an Australia Day, but we can probably find a more appropriate day to celebrate it. Once you start realizing that Jan 26 and why it is chosen, Australia Day is meant to be a celebration of everything Australia and our history. We could choose a better date. Complete nonsense. I don't believe any date that we decide to pick for this country, if it remains the Australia that we love and cherish today, it will be hated on by these groups. They will find any reason to hate any date that celebrates what this country is. What they want is a date to recognize mourning. They want a date to recognize invasion. They want a date to recognize suffering. They do not want to celebrate this country. This is all pretend BS. And to add to that, we have this conspiracy of companies joining up to attack Australia Day. Petstock, that's right. The Petstock have put out an announcement saying that they will not be celebrating Australia Day in their stores as well. No one asked them. No one asked these pet stores. No one asked these retailers. No one asked these people to make these grand announcements, but they're all piling on in now, right? They're all joining in on this list. Who cares? Petstock should just be selling dog food and stuff for your pets, right? For your cat, right? Woolworths should just be selling groceries. Aldi, this foreign-owned German company, they should just be selling their cheap groceries, right? That's what they're known for. Who else was there? There was another group, Cricket Australia. All these organizations, Big W, just do your stock and trade and leave the politics to everyone else. Leave it to the politicians. Leave it to the general public to worry about Australia Day. We don't need your corporate shilling on behalf of the government and your indigenous organizations that you say you represent, your advisory bodies and all this kind of stuff. Leave it to the public, right? We had the referendum. We decided about certain things about this country. Let's celebrate Australia Day without this nonsense from these organizations. Again, that's my opinion. If you're offended, I'm sorry. Okay, Scott Morrison, he's out. He's going to go join some foreign companies to, strategic companies overseas. Let's just read this article. The Australians confirmed that Scott Morrison will quit politics at the end of February to join a string of global strategic advising firms, triggering a pre-budget by-election in the federal southern Sydney seat of Cook. The former Liberal leader who took the coalition to a miracle election victory in 2019 will make a formal announcement Wednesday, ending a 17-year parliamentary career, including 4 years as Prime Minister. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about Scott Morrison, but one thing is clear: left or right, whichever persuasion of politics he come from, I think he's universally disliked by a lot of people, especially after the last couple of years. I think the stances that he took during COVID, his inability to actually, wrestle with the states, and the way that he just took a backwards approach to, protecting people's rights, They're things that I think I see him as a failure for. Obviously, we found out that he had set up multiple ministries himself. We have the continuous attacks on him from the left about his holidays and all this kind of stuff. But we're seeing today that Albanese is pretty much, almost as bad as him when it comes to these things, right? Airbus Albo is never in the country, as far as I can tell. So many negative qualities about Scott Morrison. His whole idea with these things that he puts up online, his social media posts with his family and him cooking and all this kind of stuff. Yes, that works for some people. Doesn't really work on me. But I'm glad to know that now that he's working with these foreign companies, he might have more time to sit at home cooking curries and whatever else he did. I do not care that Scott Morrison is in or out of politics. I think that's the general feeling within the community, but he is getting a lot of praise put towards him from the liberal group. But even them, I don't think they respect him after the last couple of years. That's just my personal opinion. Next story I have is this bikini company in Australia. That's right. Bikini brand has used a male model to advertise their latest offering. Now, this male model is not a man that is a trans woman or a trans man, whatever. He's not one of these kind of LGBTQI plus individuals, as far as I can tell from what I'm reading. But they've just got a man that is modeling this bikini, so it's caused a bit of a stir. Again, we're seeing this trend where these companies are just going, woke, right? Going weird. It's like, oh, I've got a bikini, let's get a man to model it and sell it towards women, right? Whatever happened to like women, right? They're taking women completely out of the equation, it looks like, and it's not even for the trans women or the trans men. This may be your problem. Bikini brand shuts down criticism over male model wearing a women's swimsuit. An Australian bikini brand has hit back at criticism over its decision to use a male model to advertise women's swimwear. Moana Bikini shared a video on Instagram of a male model, Jake Young, showing off the white one piece around a pool on Friday. The brand, which is founded in 2011 by body-positive influencer Karina Irby, said it was obsessed with this look and urged customers to buy the 80 pounds. How expensive is that? Like, what, $150 or something for a bikini? However, it was soon forced to defend itself from criticism as social media users said they're done with the brand because of its model's choice. So there we have Jake Young, the model that has replaced women. You can no longer have women modeling a bikini. You need to give it to a man to model it to women, I guess. Jake has come out and said that, what did he say? The model himself hit back at negative comments, writing, "There are many different types of women with different anatomy to what you consider normal. I am not a woman, nor have I ever claimed to be. This post is simply empowering a minority, and I'm forever grateful for that. Your hate is a reflection of your own insecurities, not mine. Thank you, Moana Bikini." But there's Jake. Again, a complete clown world nonsense. These organizations doing this just to get attention. I guess we are giving it attention right now. But I think in the grand scheme of things, a lot of places are losing respect for these type of companies. And just it heartens me to see the comments, especially from women and mothers, against this nonsense, right? Disempowering women and girls. What happened to giving these kind of careers to women to be a model or whatever, right? Now you got men doing it. Complete, utter nonsense. And just to wrap up, some international news, of course, there's more protests happening in Europe. That's right, more farmers' protests. So we saw a couple of weeks ago, or actually last week, protests in Germany, massive protests with farmers. These kind of protests have also now spread to France, right? Farmers in France are protesting against, overpriced pressures, taxes, and green regulations, right? This is the stuff that's pissed off the farmers in France as well. And these protests are building. They've been dumping manure on all types of areas. They have been stopping traffic with their tractors and other agricultural vehicles. So we are seeing this trend growing, especially across Europe, of farmers, these traditional workers, these agriculturalists, now standing up against governments who are eroding their ability to continue on this, frankly, a very vital part of our, livelihoods, our industries. Not livelihoods, just our lives in general, right? The farmers, the people that produce our food, are so important to economies all around the world, and they're being treated with such disrespect now by these governments, and these people are actually taking a stand, and I think it's empowering more people the more that we see this happening. And last up, we have, of course, the primaries happening right now, the New Hampshire primaries. Very early on, I'll have a report on this tomorrow, probably with my news vlog. The first count has come in from one of the smaller counties that voted at midnight, and all the votes have gone to Nikki Haley. I believe 6 votes. Very early days still. Trump is still very much the contender that's going to win, according to all the polls and suggestions from people, interviewing people outside. So looks like Trump's going to clinch it still, but Nikki Haley with a very early lead. Again, guys, if you're enjoying my videos, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel at The Real Rukshan. You can also hit the notification bell if you want these updates every day. Otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook, Rumble, and Odyssey. I have also started to put chapters on my YouTube videos, as a lot of comments asked for this. So I figured out how to do this. So I will be doing this going forward. And last up, I actually forgot this story. I'll just put this here. John Ruddick, a member of Parliament from New South Wales, shared this from the Libertarian Party. And this is a Veolia trash collection bin, and it's got on it, "Committed to reconciliation with some Aboriginal art." And he's written, "It's a cult now." This might go back to some of the stuff we were talking about previously. All right, guys. See you next time.